standards you're setting for my channel here. That's great. I'm only
Would like to.
following behind a guy with 80 viewers.
Hey, big guy. If you were live right now, you as well, we'd probably be getting around the same numbers. With Beardson and Jimbo streaming,
I think
that's just a fact.
What are you trying to say?
We can argue. Hey, this is content. We'll go back and forth. No, but I think we got something right here.
Yeah, maybe there's some content happening now that I'm coming here telling the truth. At least somebody's saying something.
I was saying it.
No, you weren't saying anything. You were talking to your bank. Leaving these poor people who came here for a show, and they're just watching these, whatever, these freaking, what are they, Muslims? What are you watching?
You're like me. The same similar content.
Yeah, well, I would have made it cool, though.
You would have made it cool?
Yeah, I wouldn't have been on the phone with my bank. Not on my first time solo streaming.
Bro.
I wouldn't be on the phone with my casual. What's with being casual? What's wrong with you?
Stream. We're doing a casual little stream here.
Oh my god, dude.
Hey man.
Since when is BigTech's channel just a casual? Do some phone errands while the stream's rolling. Just let these.
They wouldn't have even gotten to stream if it was up to you. I like I said, I got bank stuff going on, and I was still like, let's just fire up a stream for whoever who wants it. And you know what? There's people here that are enjoying the content. I'm sorry you're not. Hey, I'm sorry you're not, man.
What am I gonna do with these kids?
You need to start drama, RJ. Yeah, I need to start drama. I need to start drama with someone.
Do
you're right.
something. Do something. Do so. I'm just kidding.
Even camming up would be better. Hey, I wish that'd be cool. Like camming up, get me in the cam somewhere. That'd be too difficult though. We should figure that out next time.
Yeah, that'd be so cool.
That would be.
That'd be cool.
Because then people could see my reactions at least.
They could see you react silently.
No. Hey, I got great reactions. All right, you're missing out.
It's too much to ask for you to say your reaction.
Hey,
but they might be able to see like your eyebrow like raises a little bit. Your eyebrow goes up when something happens. You're like, don't worry, guys. I'm on the phone. I'm banking.
Real?
See me reacting.
Get some Coke, RJ. I need to get Coke. Hey, I need some Coke. Maybe that'll get me a little hyped up. Hey, leave your headset on if you can. I think we're gonna play this. I want to hear your bit because I know you haven't heard this before, and I know you got a lot to say on John Doyle, and I know the chat wants to hear it. So, if you can, chime in a little bit. You want to roll into this? You want to do this the other day?
Whatever, dude. I don't care. This show is scuffed. This show is scuffed.
I was told very recently by a hyper-intelligent high school.
No.
I would like to remind everybody. I was told very recently by a hyper-intelligent high school-age political analyst that Ali Alexander is one of the most brilliant political minds currently on the world stage.
Wait, high school-age political analyst.
He's a time traveler, right? So he has a huge advantage in political analysis.
Yeah, there's this pussy faggot bitch named Sean.
Like CWC.
Is it like pussy faggot bitch as he's lisping in the mic? Yeah, it kind of does. Honestly, especially in the Twitter space, I don't know what it's doing to his audio.
Political analyst.
Yeah, there's this pussy.
Who was that?
Right?
It might. Hold on.
Brilliant political minds currently on the world stage.
Wait, high school-age political analyst.
He's a time traveler, right? So he has a huge advantage in political analysis.
That might actually be CWC.
Yeah, there's this pussy faggot bitch named Sean McCrossan, who's one of these like Groiper kids, and he was like telling me that Kanye West is going to become president or whatever. And I was like, okay, what's your plan? And he was like, we're assembling a team of the greatest political minds in the country. And I was like, who? Like, who are these people? That sounds so exciting. Ali Alexander. And I was like, I'm going to kill myself.
Do you remember when Cernovich said that Ali told him in a dream to avoid, like, El Paso or something? And then there was, like, a shooting there. And he was like, I think Ali is like was able to predict this or something like that. Do you remember? That was a real tweet. I'll see if I can find it.
It's like Inception. He's like going into.
He's like,
I think he just met his like a guy at the MK Ultra water cooler, and he was like, "Hey, you hear about the shooting that's coming up in El Paso or something like that?" It probably wasn't really a prediction.
Dude, that's literally.
I'm blocked by Sir. No, I can't search it.
Yeah, no, I think it is. At first, I thought it was just someone that sounded a lot like him, but let me play that one more time.
Really a prediction.
I'm blocked by Sir.
Did anybody spot that yet? I'm a genius.
One of the platforms just opened up, and it's like 7 p.m. It's peak hours of the gym. I gotta go. Okay, see ya.
Yeah. On that note, as well, I've been up since 5 a.m. Got a show tomorrow.
Don't care.
You
Go
can't
watch
do
on
that.
Oh wow, what a
PM
disappointment!
Eastern, but what?
What a disappointment!
I told you I don't know if I could do it tonight, and then you put my name in the Twitter Space title. We got to do these earlier. I literally wake up at 5 a.m. Your girl's got to get some ugly sleep going on.
Jeez.
I know,
Right.
I know. And my husband's telling me I need to get off and make him a sandwich.
Listen
Like,
to
I literally
JD.
can't stop. It's against my will. All right, thank you. Really excited to be back. Thank you.
Go put extra meat on the sandwich. All right.
I do. I literally have to handle meat. It's disgusting, but I do it for my
Why do I want to listen to this fucking whore? Who is she?
Good night, everyone.
Oh my god, that's vile.
Language,
Okay.
RJ. Jeez.
No.
Oh my.
RJ solo stream. We talk like a Canadian.
Hey, look, Josiah converted her to
No, that's
Christianity.
you're on better behavior when you do a solo stream. Not worse.
I mean, isn't that kind of like the
talk how I talk.
conversion? Is it real though? You know?
He doesn't go to church. He told me this.
What? Yes, he does.
Oh, good. They pushed my flight back even further. That's good.
Dude, he literally said,
"Yo, what time now?"
Now it leaves 3.
Oh my lord.
That's cool.
Just might as well cam up in a bit and do an actual, because real effort stream coming up. Because this is I'm just ignoring calls from my bank now at this point. I'm angry. I'm animated.
Dude.
I'm ready to react to this.
I literally.
Fuck banks.
dude, he
Are you
literally
getting
says
debanked?
grace before meals. Like,
I don't
what
want
are
to get
you
into it
talking
right now.
about?
Lol.
No, I'm saying he said, "Oh, we don't even go to church. We
Debanged.
sit on the couch and talk to God."
What are you?
He's probably trolling you, dude.
Josiah is a little troll. I was with him like
You should duel him.
2 weeks ago, and everything that he asked of Isabella, she did instantly. He was like, "Hey, can I get some water, babe?" And then Isabella was like, "Warm or cold?" It was so funny.
Which retard put up a still image on Twitter Spaces? It shows you who's speaking. Now I'm just like staring at a still image of the Twitter space, hearing voices.
You should duel him.
Why would I duel him?
No, that's not you, Lance.
Oh, Monolith. Yeah, you totally should.
Yeah, this is even worse. This is even worse now.
You got to be careful though with Josiah. He's not.
How'd you make it worse?
I played what you linked. Okay, you know what? I'm
How'd
so
you do
far
that?
doing the genre of content that you're linking me, and
now you're gonna blame it on me? Dang, dude.
Nigga, go back! Go back! Go get ready! Go get ready for Alpha Mania.
Crazy, bro. I'm trying to just chill, and you're like, no, keep your thing on. Whatever.
What?
You're like, keep your headset on. We're gonna do a react to John Doyle. I'm like, all right.
You wanted to do that yesterday.
If I wanted to do it yesterday, I would have done it yesterday.
I'm so, you know.
You got to be careful though with Josiah. He's not gonna draw
to him. It'll bounce right off.
No, Monolith has learned, like, ever since John, the dual
hear
challenge,
my
he's
echo.
like, okay, what I have to do is work within the system. So now he's actually, like, doing editing videos and stuff. So he's working from the inside.
Here, can Ashley, is that crazy girl? Honestly, you want to hop in? Let's make fun. Honestly, that might be better fucking content, dude. Yeah, let's just listen to more of this. Let's make fun of John Doyle.
So here's the deal. You just got to skip the boring part in the beginning. Just like skip forward.
Yeah, there we go. Let me play it again so I can actually.
Are you gonna walk away from the computer while you go smoke your coffee?
No, I'm gonna be here. No, I'm gonna be here.
Cool.
AF.
Based.
That's what it was. He's like, oh yeah, gee, well look at the time. Platform just opened.
Okay, more bullshit. Awesome.
Teaming up and
Because
okay,
and accept that we need everybody we can get into this movement.
I think the premise of your question is actually perfectly inverted, because I'm not the one who instigates these type of conflicts. You know, if you're familiar with Nick's show at all, he's been taking consistent shots at me for years, and I've never reciprocated. I've always been very friendly towards him. I've done favors for him behind the scenes, helped him in any way I can.
Also, that's just a lie. Nick only snipes at Doyle after he does like passive aggressive little like fucking yeah. What does he do? Like in the RPG chat, for example, casually, saying, Beardson's a manlet, Beardson's this, or Nick's a nerd, and then Nick will say like the same thing back. He'll meet the energy. He'll say he's dorky. Literally, like that was, I think, the leaked DM. Doyle's a dork. And that was like World War III. That was so it was
and
over.
then recently things have sort of escalated, I think, because there's a character named Beardson Beardley who was behaving.
A character?
Have sort of
like he doesn't know
he is
who
a character. He is.
I know, but like he doesn't know who he is. Like he's not in his DMs.
Escalated, I think, because there's a character named Beardson Beardley who was behaving ridiculously on a live stream, and my good friend Nathaniel Abbott accurately described his behavior, which prompted Beardson to do like a 3-hour stream viciously attacking him. And then I hopped into one of these A-log streams, and I, told these guys I would put up like $10,000 if they fought or something, which amounted effectively to a declaration of war. And it is what it is. And I tried to diffuse it.
Hey,
because,
John.
Look,
hey, John. When you go into an A-log stream and you do a weird flex like that, and you know Beardson Beardley quite well, you've known him for years, you know what he's like, you know his content, you know he's a character, and now you're gonna like complain on this. Apparently it's like a declaration of war just because I went on an A-log stream and I like sent in like a super chat saying that we should fight in Ralphamania, just like clowning on him in an A-log stream. Apparently this is like a declaration of war or something. Bad. Yeah, you know what you're doing, so just don't cry about it. Let's go. It's on.
I guess took a shot at Beardson, so I DM him.
I guess I took a shot at Beardson.
Because look, I guess took a shot at Beardson, so I DM him, and I'm like, hey man, just wanted to be straight up with you, blah blah blah. If that's being a pussy or whatever, so be it.
Yeah.
But then Beardson wanted to go after me. And so the problem is, it's like
exactly.
It's being a pussy.
It's like being a pussy or whatever. Call me like a Zio cuck or whatever. I don't care. Like you can call me whatever you want. Like I don't really care. I'm just over here earning my bucks and like infiltrating, like, but not really. Like just working for PragerU, and it's like no big deal.
Yeah, tweeting,
call me what you want. I don't care.
Yeah, really groundbreaking shit.
AF's greatest export at this point is basically drama, and I'm tired of it. Everybody else behind the scenes is pretty much tired of it. All of their allies, whether it's Jake Lloyd,
tired of it.
Casey,
I'm just
Jaden McNeil,
posting
all the guys behind the scenes
snipes in a A-logs stream, but I'm tired of the drama. I'm so tired of hey, you need to go ahead and expand your appetite because it's only beginning, nigga. You've now made yourself the center of it, boy. You're tired of it? Well, you better freaking slam an energy drink and wake up. Egg.
Real?
No. Like, you can literally view it as all of these people are just spiteful and hearted, and like you guys are the ones who are correct.
Like grabbing a muffin, just talk over it. I won't pause it for like just a second. I'll be right back.
Or you can think that maybe there's something to be said about, like, I don't know, there's just 109 people just were done with him for whatever reason. So I
based.
If you want these
that's
ideas
an oddly specific. You're definitely not referencing.
Relax. Try to be cool. Don't be a nerd. Don't be a nerd. Oh shit, my friends are all nerds.
If you want these ideas to be mainstream, then you need people in the mainstream talking about them. And for this approach, I was called a Zio shill cuck, faggot, etc.
You are
by these people, and I basically
correct.
Correct. Real.
Correct.
No comment needed.
Yes. Where's the lie?
Oh,
no lie detected.
They're getting to him.
And
I love how he's saying all this at the gym.
I love how he's at the gym, literally lifting weights.
Zio
so hot.
Yeah, so I've been like viciously attacked.
So hot that he's doing this at the gym. What a Chad. Oh my god. John Doyle. I love John Doyle. He's so based. Love that he's doing this literally at the gym. Oh my god. Rock hard right now. Go, John. Go off.
Oh, John.
It's so cool that he's doing this at the gym. Oh my god, guys.
And yeah, so recently, like, I basically decided that I'd had enough with it. And yeah, so I disagree with the premise that, like, I'm the one who's causing the divide. I mean, AF is like this very fanatical cult-like apparatus.
Yeah.
Which, for example, like right now, the reason you guys are even listening to this stream is because I accurately described the intellect of one of your guys' allies as retarded because it is. I didn't even say anything about Nick directly, but because I took a shot at like some 16-year-old kid who thinks that Kanye West is going to become president, now all of a sudden I've attacked the hive mind, and so I've got all these people coming after me, and that's just the way it works. So I would love to hear how Kanye West is going to become president.
I'd love to hear how working for PragerU is helping us win the culture war.
Yeah. Also, like, counter-signaling collectivism, like this whole, like, I attacked one of you and you're all swarming me. You're like a vicious call. That's what we need. That's why the left wins, is because they're collective in nature. And what are we? Individualists in nature. If we, what does the saying go? If we hang separately, well, if we don't hang together, we'll hang separately, as the saying goes. We're in this together. This is our fight.
Our base are peoples who view World War II to be a grand moral crusade. These are the baby boomers. And the distinction that was supposed to be made at Charlottesville, which Nick correctly pointed out 5-6 years ago, was that, look, it's not enough to say we can do whatever we want. They're going to call us racist Nazis anyway, so we can just wave the Nazi flag. It was to say, look, we're trying to appeal to people who are sympathetic to our ideas. And we know that as people on the dissident right, nobody likes to identify the real Nazis or the real racists more than our base. So if you're going to go out there and talk about how much you love Hitler, how much you love Nazis, it doesn't matter if there's even the Christian thing to do. It's over for you. You're never going to win an election. And anyone who's trying to tell you something otherwise,
you were going to. They stole the election.
I'd like to sell.
There are no more elections now.
It's ruining the lives of young men who otherwise could be politically effective because they're going to
Bro, is it lagging?
These events, that's terrible. If the FBI, who by the way is investigating openly this movement, wanted to gain access to this information, they could. So yeah, I'm trying at this point to basically dissuade young men from having their political careers ruined by getting attached to something that anyone.
Okay, so I used to subscribe. Okay, here we go.
Butch Gizzard sent $3. I'm in a cult and I'm damn proud of it.
Yeah.
America first is inevitable, baby.
Yeah.
Real? Well, let me play this one more time.
Hey, get in the cult. Stop trying to not be in it, dummy. You're in our cult or you're in theirs. PragerU is a cult. A Zio cult.
Fuck, I can't find the clip I'm looking for. You know the clip of like, if you don't believe what we tell you to believe in, we'll kill you. I love that clip.
These events, that's terrible. If the FBI, who by the way is investigating openly this movement, wanted to gain access to this information, they could. So, yeah.
The FBI is investigating Trumpster moms for protesting school board meetings, okay? I remember back in 2016, people like myself in Canada, even people in America, were losing their jobs, being placed on watch lists for supporting Donald Trump. This whole thing of like, if you support Nick, you're going to be on a watch list. Nigga, if you're a Trump supporter, you're already on a watch list.
I'm trying at this point to basically dissuade young men from having their political careers ruined by getting attached to something that anyone with a political memory over 2 years would tell you is fucking retarded.
And
if that makes me a Zio shill cuck,
yeah, it's all. It's a job, just be a bureaucrat.
Yeah, go.
So be it. I don't
way up.
Yeah,
care.
Go
bring coffee to Marjorie Taylor Greene or whatever.
I was gonna literally say that. I was just gonna say bring coffee to Rand Paul.
I'm trying to actually do things that are effective. I've been happy to stay separate, but if that's not the case anymore, that is fine. No one cares. So that's the take, basically.
That's the take.
I have to agree with you though, John. But I saw, I think it was like a year ago, that this like 16-year-old kid was caught like with Nick. And then he got like expelled from his school or kicked out of class or something.
Wow, that's what happened to me for wearing a MAGA hat.
He did walk in a video with Nick, and
yeah, that's Joe.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was my video from CPAC actually.
Dude, he went to this really nice. So he lives like near where I grew up. He went to this really nice private school. Like it costs like $40K a year, and it's like a high school. And he got kicked out of there, and now he has to go to the shitty public school that I went to, and I just feel so bad for the guy.
The public school where they bullied you?
Yo, literally, like, obviously that sucks. We don't want people getting kicked out of school, but, like, at some level, it's like, you know, we got Big Alaska, like, going to jail here for, like, 60 days. We're facing... People, like, in our movement are literally facing the gulag. And it's like, if you're not willing... I don't know, we're not asking this of anyone, but if you're not at some point willing to, you know, go all in and, you know... get kicked out of school, which I'm not asking, nobody's asking you to do, but if you're not willing to go there, what are you doing in the first place?
In reference to the video that came out of CPAC when they're walking around, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess you were there.
It was in 2021, I believe.
And that sucks. Yeah. That like really sucks that happened. But the conditions that we're under do not make necessary like these grand public displays or something. Like you're literally just putting a target on your back. You can call it cowardice, but now that kid doesn't get to go to that school anymore. And it's like, what was achieved by that? Did you shift the paradigm? No, like you got clicks, it was funny, and it was entertaining. And that's the point. The point is to be entertaining. That's why, all these things happen. It's content, it's youth culture, and that's fine. But we have people behind the scenes who are actually trying to do things that are important. And if those people don't want to be explicitly aligned with what you guys are doing, it just sort of betrays the true purpose of the movement when all of a sudden you've got these A-log streamers doing 3-hour drama streams about them. And it's like, yeah, that's the export. That's how Beardson Beardly pays his bills, by making $1,000 when he goes off on drama or whatever. But then when he's doing normal content, he makes like what? I think it was $11 an hour. So that's why. It's just immature, it's childish, and I don't know anybody intelligent
reading the A-log forum and repeating their talking point. Like, bro.
I was watching Beardson just chatting, fucking making bank earlier. I don't know what the hell this guy's saying.
Who takes it seriously anymore?
Didn't Beardson's wife
leave him? Hold on, AF
didn't Beardson's wife, dude, they're just straight up A-logs now.
Beardson's wife left him. They do that on the BPF show. I forget his like co-host, but they do that like all the time. That they constantly just bring up Beardson's wife.
I definitely think John brought up some good points, and it's like I'm not a John hater. Like some of these people, like I'm a fan of John too. But a lot of what John is saying is a lot of the same rhetoric that we saw in 2015 from the neocons when Trump started running. And we're seeing the same tactics used against these.
Name it to reacting to John Doyle if you can.
Supporters that were used against
like what's an example of what John said? What's an example?
Can I respond to that really quick, and I'll do a set? It's a good point because it's true. I mean, there's.
I like respond to that, and then I'm like gonna do a set. Like, fuck, man.
Can I respond to that really quick, and I'll do a set? It's a good point because it's true. I mean, there is a lot of that. He'll never be president. His rhetoric is too off-putting. But I mean, you're talking about Donald Trump. Donald Trump is like literally had decades of political experience, whether it's talking about politics, lobbying on both sides of politics, et cetera, et cetera. This guy was like a household name for reasons that he's like relatively intelligent. Kanye West made money in a different way. He's an artist. It's a fundamentally different business. And Kanye West comes off as like genuinely low IQ and mentally unstable to people who see him. When normal people see clips of Trump, they like laugh and think it's funny. When people see clips of when Kanye's talking about politics, they don't think the same thing. Also,
when I see clips of Trump, I see a man that's in active cognitive decline. Nick told a story where he was like retelling like stories of his rallies, and Trump would literally like cut him off midway, completely like retell the story by mistelling it. The guy, frankly, if you're following his speeches, comes off like an old sourpuss. Okay? When you look at Ye, that's where the energy is. That's where the vibe is.
Kanye has no money. Trump had money. Kanye has no people who are willing to back him politically. Trump had actually very serious and smart political allies. When I asked one of you guys who the smart political allies are that are going to put Kanye in office, I was told Ali Alexander, which made me laugh. So that's just sort of the difference between the two.
So who's hold on. Who's John Doyle trying to put in office? What's his these guys are gonna demand like, what's your political strategy? Well, what's your strategy? Well, don't worry about that. You just trust. We got people behind the scenes trying to do real things in politics. Well, what are you doing? Oh, we got people behind the scenes. We're doing stuff. Well, PragerU, we're talking about issues. We're basically like, we've almost got it back to where it was in the 90s, We're talking about immigration, and we're talking about pornography, and like we're bringing it back. We're bringing back the conversation that didn't work in the 90s.
Real.
And don't worry, we'll get some people in there, some real heavy hitters. They'll be based, and it'll work. And then we'll win. It'll be cool. Thanks, John.
Hey, thanks, John. Hey, thanks for the tips, John.
Someone here is claiming that they're the one who called you a Zio shill cuck. Do you want us to bring him up here? Or
I mean, if you want blood sports, we can. I'm in public right now, but I mean, it's all these people.
Black Swan tweeted out, it's by the Jerusalem Post. It's a system failure grounds. U.S. planes, flights to from Israel unaffected, and he says, the United States of America is trying to cancel WrestleMania. Real? This is the real reason why the flights are being affected right now.
All right.
They're trying to stop you.
I guess I'll. This is the person claiming this, so I guess
I do enjoy Bloodsport.
All right, Mr. I mean, he calls himself Lucky Neo-Gastonian, so it's kind of, taking your thing here. Go ahead, Lucky.
This is the guy that DM'd me, just so you're aware. As a former Christian, I think he's a lost sheep, and I hope you elders humble him. I'm going to step down as listener. Thank you.
Okay, to be clear, guys, I didn't call him a Zio Cuck. I called the guy who works for the Zio Cuck, Dennis Prager, a Zio Cuck, which is fair, right? I mean, how do you work for PragerU and
Wait, are you referring to
You're calling Aldo?
Who does he work for?
It doesn't matter, dude.
What a stupid thing to say. That's like literally how a child would understand the situation.
No. Because see,
it absolutely is. Because I have information about him because I've known him.
Oh, let's just hear that again. This is tone. This is the way the guy sounds.
It doesn't matter, dude.
What a stupid thing to say.
What a stupid thing to say.
It's like literally how a child would understand the situation.
No. Because see,
it absolutely is. Because I have information about him because I've known him for 10 years and what his beliefs are and how the operations work over at Prager. And if you're like, oh, he works for this guy, therefore everything he does is a reflection of him. That's like literally how a retarded person would perceive things.
So we have Aldo in the space. I mean, you can even talk to him directly if you want.
I'm just saying, how long is the infiltration going to go on? Is it going to be forever, truly? Like, we're just going to keep waiting? Or are people going to actually start doing something about it?
But why don't you ask Aldo about what he believes in?
I have.
Yeah,
before.
we're going to start doing something.
Have.
We're going to do something. We're going to put a literal, like, black wrapper.
Whoa, hold on. Whoa, 1 second. Immediate. Yo, cut. 1 sec. Yo, Juice? What is this? Yo, Juice? It says, RG Chismadia based or cringe? Hey, yo, Juice this poll.
Uh-oh.
I'm dropping that in the chat.
Uh-oh, cringe.
There's a bunch of Wendell heads that are DMing me saying that they're trying to swing the poll. But I believe in you guys. We got 9 minutes left. We can do it.
Lukey, what are you doing, Lukey?
Another Wendell
I'm in college right now.
Yeah, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing for the quote unquote movement that you're so passionate about? What are you doing?
They just sign up to the
Students for Yay chapter president.
For Yay chapter.
Hopefully I'm going to start on, doing some things on campus or whatever. But, the point is, it's like, what is that doing? What is joining PragerU doing? What is
what's your solution? If you're not doing anything, but you're over here criticizing people that are doing things, people that are in.
What's the criticism?
People that actually have.
We're saying respect. Okay.
Hold on. I mean, do you understand this? I'm looking at the PragerU pitch deck right in front of me. All the numbers. PragerU garners 25 million unique views a quarter. Every quarter, 25 million unique views. Aldo's like the second or third largest personality on that platform. You don't think that's doing anything? That's ridiculous.
All right, no. Respect to you guys for getting in positions of power. I can't do that. You're right about that. But that's why people who are actually dissident right. We need people who are higher up who are dissident right to actually start like changing the conversation.
No, that's like a miscalculation.
Wait, so are you criticizing the fact that I brought up I've been posting about anti-pornography for the last month, getting millions of views and starting a conversation in the right wing about anti-pornography? Like that's
I don't have a problem with you talking about anti-pornography. That's not what I said at all.
You said that we need people bringing up new things, starting conversations.
You want to know what literally it is?
A good question would be, what is it that we should be bringing up?
Literally the problem.
Aid to Israel. Do that.
Wait. So you're saying why is me being on Prager me not being critical of Israel about us getting money?
Have you been critical of Israel on Prager on their platform?
Look, why is it so important to you that Israel is the sole conflict the dissident right needs to speak about? Like, there aren't other problems.
It's the one sole topic you can't speak about.
I mean, there are other problems, but what else is
it's
like
because
Matt Walsh?
It's the one that they all stem from, and it's the one that you're not allowed to talk about because it's the one that the controllers need to remain quiet. Not just the Israel question, by the way. It's not just the state of Israel. It's not just the money
Jewish
sent to
question.
Israel. Yeah, it's like, what's up with these Jews, though? Well, why do you want to talk about that? Why don't we talk about other things that we're allowed to talk about? Well, because of that. How come you only want to talk about
because
the
of your response
that you're allowed to talk about? Why do you think it's like that?
Real.
The things you're allowed to talk about aren't dangerous to our enemy. Otherwise, you wouldn't be allowed to talk about it. It's about taking it to the enemy. And there is an enemy that has made themselves the enemy. They're the enemy of Christ. They're the enemy of the West. They're the enemy of America. They're the enemy of the culture that we want to save. And you think that by like remaining quiet on the thing that they want you to remain quiet on, you winning? Feel like you're winning?
Hey, HW. Yo, HW raid. Let's go. Hey, friends. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hi, HW. Harris Walker.
Yo, we still gotta play Nazi Zombies.
What's up, Globehead? What's up, you globe cuck? HW globe cuck.
Real.
HW stands for hates worlds that are flat.
HW stands for real nigga. Total Chad.
True.
Back to Doyle.
But that's why you call him the Zio
Thanks for the
Shield cuck,
raid.
is because he won't criticize Israel when he's clearly focused on combating pornography and affecting young child.
So this is the problem: is you'll have people who are good on the issues, let's say 90% of the time, occupying like important areas in right-wing infrastructure, and then you've got these people who are just like, why don't you say the thing that you're not supposed to say, pussy? And then it's like, let me say it, and then get fired, and then I'll go stream on Cozy TV.
Why yes. Did you say everything? Pause.
It's funny. We actually
pause. Hey, John, that's what everybody should do. That's what, and the thing is, by you, John, not doing it, you're giving everybody permission to also not do it. And the thing is, we don't win until everybody who claims to be serious is pressed on this issue. This is the dividing line between serious and not serious. If you're not willing to talk about that, then you're not serious. So why should we take you serious? Like if you're not willing to do that, you're not on side. You're marked as a phony, as a pussy, because this is a war that's going to take some real G's to make some real moves and put some real skin in the game. And if you're not willing to do it, see, you're complicit behavior. You're complying with the rules. That makes you complicit. So when you comply with the rules as they set them, then you're also signaling to everyone else that that's the right move to make, and therefore everybody else can remain calm and remain within the bounds that the adversary of our team has set for us. That's why. So that's why we're pressing you, John, because we know that you know. We know that you know. And you're out there, like, we can say, okay, well, Steven Crowder, well, how come you never say it? Well, because Crowder's just a straight-up grifter. And we can say to Alex Jones, how come you never say it? And he'll go, I don't really believe that. And it's like, all right, well, now we know where you stand. I mean, you sell your boner pills and stuff, Alex, but you're clearly, there's something wrong. But this is the question that, Ye has brought to us, as now it's on the table to ask this question. It's up, the question, it's like we're post COVID, we're post Jan 6th, we're in this territory now where it's like where are the real ones at? And
there's not many left, it seems.
So that's the question that's being asked to them. It's like, so are you just going to infiltrate forever? Is that really your plan? Is just to infiltrate forever? Well, that's just such a childish way of looking at it. You're just looking at it like a child. You're a dummy. You're dumb and not smart enough. You're not thinking. You don't have a political memory like I do. And we've got real people working on the inside, doing some real stuff in politics on the inside. We're going to be politicians. Yeah, okay.
X to doubt.
Yeah.
X to doubt on that one. I've seen this since the old alt-right. This idea of like infiltration. We just got to infiltrate. The GOP, the system at large, has such a robust immune system that sooner or later you become the system. You don't change the system. You become a part of the system. And that's where the rhetoric that John Doyle is espousing is going to lead young patriots.
Actually, me and Nuance were in a space yesterday with one of these types, and they had this like tunnel vision where if you're not talking about race relations or if you're not talking about Israel, you're not doing anything. Like there's a million other really important things to talk about, but they want like Israel and Jews and race stuff brought up constantly. And it's not to say those aren't big issues, but you've got people like Aldo talking about the pornography issue, which is a very key point in changing men's lives around. And you've got this guy, this Lukey guy, who's obviously some groiper, who's admitting admittingly himself not doing anything, not actually effective or part of anything, and he's here criticizing people who are
You
actually
want to change the title to like John Doyle reaction or something?
involved in movements and making change.
Sure. Will it make you feel better?
Yeah, this is literally a repeat. I mean, of like the whole Richard Spencer thing. Like you've.
Oh, here we go. Now he's gonna contrast and compare to Richard Spencer.
Yeah, this is literally a repeat. I mean, of like the whole Richard Spencer thing. Like you've
Oh,
got
come
these.
on, dude.
These
No,
it
you
100% is. Why don't you debate Patrick Casey on it then? Why don't you go on? He's doing Discord debates. Go on his Discord stream next time and debate him on what happened with the alt right. That's the thing. You know, Nick wants to criticize
I don't
these
even know
people.
where that guy
Why doesn't
streams
he?
anymore,
Why
dude.
doesn't he debate Patrick Casey on political strategy? Why not debate Jake Lloyd on political strategy? I would love to see that. I mean, you can call him Judas all he wants. Why not debate them?
Because they have personal issues. They don't have a different stance on political strategy.
He has
But the
personal
point
issues
is,
with everybody. He has personal issues with every single political actor on the American right. And it's him.
That's not
He's
true.
the problem. Yes,
But-
it is.
That's literally
Yes, it
true.
is.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. You guys are like, oh, you have to like, you don't have to name the Jew or whatever to be like critical of Israel, right? You don't.
But do you think everyone has to always talk about every single issue in every single
I
capacity?
think. See, but the thing is, pornography is something that a lot of people do talk about. Matt Walsh talks about
What?
it. He works for Daily Wire. A lot of
It's
people talk about
really
pornography.
no.
Anti-porn
Hold on.
stances right now.
No. Hold on. Is Fox News like talking about pornography often? Is CNN talking about pornography often? I think like Tucker Carlson's talked about it a couple times, but like it's really not something that penetrates the mainstream mind where they're like, oh
Dude,
yeah, we're having
talking
a
about
conversation in
pornography
society.
is so cool, dude. Yeah,
Well, I wonder who's producing all that. I wonder who's running all the distributors for the major pornographer.
Yeah, I bet.
industries.
Is that coming up in your conversation about pornography? So your plan is just to address the symptom and not the disease.
That's
Is
the
that
main
plan?
distinction. I think I said that the difference between the Doyle gang and the Doylists, John and AF, is they're willing to criticize the symptoms, not the disease. They'll talk about porn, Christianity, which is great, fantastic. We love Jesus Christ, but they won't talk about those that reject Jesus Christ. They won't talk about the real powers that be.
About the role of pornography and what it plays in men's lives. That's not really common, especially with young people when they're going through TikTok. Like they're really not seeing that. So I think what
furthermore,
we're
like,
doing is actually like fairly valuable.
We're just now
maybe-
getting
maybe not
legislation
on a
that's making
huge
change in
scale.
this too.
But
I would argue that Aldo is probably one of the, single-handedly is actually shifting the window on pornography and how people.
You know who? Well, John here did a lot of good work on that before.
I'm gonna kill
No,
myself.
actually, John, I will say,
Let's go.
I can advocate for John as well. He's the one. He personally got me to stop watching pornography.
Wow.
Yeah, but the thing is, there are things that like you can talk about that can get you in
That's
trouble,
cool.
right? And pornography is not one of them.
But why do you
There's
need
certain parts of that.
Why do you want
It
people to just
absolutely.
ruin
You
their
understand how politics works? Like, okay, you have to purposely nuke your career.
Keep infiltrating. Yeah, that
Dude,
does
you're
a
in
lot.
college.
Do you
You don't
understand
know
like the
anything.
history of
You don't
right wing
know anything.
politics in this country? Like we've gotten not only just in the Trump era, the mainstream right has become so much farther right. But I saw an article recently on Twitter talking about how Pat Buchanan himself drastically reshaped the direction of the right in the 1990s. Like, should Pat Buchanan have like named them or something like that? I mean, this is a guy who's universally revered.
He did.
But he's an infiltrator.
He did.
To actually do anything. To actually.
Dude, Pat Buchanan was like a Holocaust revisionist. It was like he was a history. Doyle, hey Doyle,
fact checker.
Doyle, yeah, he was a fact checker. Doyle, yeah, the only thing that the problem with Buchanan, the problem was, first of all, he didn't have the internet in the 90s, right? So he was trying to do what we're trying to do without the leverage that we have within the culture. He didn't. I mean, we're all deplatformed off of it, but for him, it didn't exist. It wasn't a thing yet. And the other thing that happened with Buchanan is that he started doing what you're doing. He started trying to like placate.
Yep.
And
then he endorsed Bush, and that's because he was an institutional conservative at the end of the day.
Yeah.
He was right about Jews. He was based, but honestly, it's a repeat of what we see with John Doyle. It's the difference between that revolutionary spirit that we have at AF and this kind of institutional approach that John is seeking. He can be based. John knows about Jews. John knows about everything that we know of. Me and BigTech aren't up here saying the opposite. That's the fact that makes it so problematic is he knows. He's not stupid. He's misleading people.
Yeah, you can call it cowardice or whatever, but I just think that you guys are not as smart as me.
Okay, John. Okay, John. We'll see where the culture war is in 30 years.
Push the right. You can.
What are you mad about?
Effective people
and it's
are
not just
the
socially, right?
The dissidents on the far right, they don't push anything. It's the people that actually infiltrate and stay within the mainstream that get things done.
Well, how long are you guys gonna infiltrate and stay within the mainstream?
Luke,
for?
you keep
Actually, speaking of Richard Spencer, guess who literally had an interview with Pat Buchanan? Richard Spencer, him saying oh, Nick's Richard Spencer, Buchanan is the right approach. It's like nigga was literally having interviews with Richard Spencer at the time.
Very tired. Are you really acting as if no gains have been made whatsoever? Like, are you serious?
We are openly
I
discussing
feel like we're losing
anti-white racism. We're discussing demographic change.
You
We're
mean just
discussing
like
pornography,
Tucker?
things that would have been unspeakable even as recently as 2-3 years ago. And to this, you'll say, "Oh, well, it's because Nick and some guys asked Charlie Kirk questions at a Q&A," which is like,
yes,
okay, yeah, that's why that
true.
trickled into all of right-wing media.
Yep.
You know this as
Literally.
a reactionary. Things are going to get catastrophically worse for us before people start to be accepting to these ideas. It's going to get worse before it gets better. That's why we're reactionaries.
Luke, you also say that you guys, as Tony was saying earlier, why aren't you doing anything about this?
Real.
And you say that you're in college, and that's the reason why you can't actually speak about this stuff, but you're straight up naming this stuff right on a live stream. What is stopping you from actually doing some real work?
Yeah. I dropped out of college so I could do this. You're still in college, cuck. Why don't you name them in your classroom?
Yeah, that's
cuck?
funny. That's funny.
I don't know who did that. Who did that?
Not me.
Well,
I guess that was me. That was me. My bad.
That's
But,
kind of the point, which is
But I mean,
I'm losing too many brain cells addressing Luke specifically,
Well,
but
he's losing
that's
brain
the point.
cells. He's too cool.
I'm losing brain cells listening to this shitty Twitter space, but yeah, I'm still here. Don't hear me complaining.
That's the point that
Yeah.
Lance brought up,
Good own,
which is that
good own,
it's
good own. You got
okay.
me.
It's okay to make a suggestion now and then to people that are in positions of power, of how they can do it better or what they should be doing. But then it gets to a certain point where if you're not happy with the way that people are doing things, then you can change it yourself. But to only be criticizing is just lame. Make a suggestion.
You are in a position to actually.
That's my point, which is if you don't like the way I'm doing it, then you should join the movement. You should start a podcast. You should start making connections and going on other people's platforms and building something yourself. And at the end of the day, if you're not successful, then that means your ideas suck and nobody wants to listen to you. But stop just bitching from your
Are you going
corner.
to deflect any criticism?
Stop.
Are you going to deflect
Luke,
any
stop
criticism by
being
saying that
lazy.
I don't have a huge platform?
What's the criticisms? Is that Aldo doesn't focus on Israel? Is that the criticism?
No, that he doesn't talk
Yeah,
about it
that's
at all.
literally
That
the only
none
Wait,
of you guys.
but you're not
frankly,
even you're
none
not
of you guys
even
frankly
watching all my
cover
videos
anything
then.
actually.
Because I made a specific video on foreign policy that I said specifically the American taxpayer should not be giving $1 to any foreign nation unless we get our problem solved first. I said that specifically. And again, just because you don't like the way that I'm saying it or how I'm doing it, then just stop bitching about it. But do it yourself then. If you're so mad.
So you guys wouldn't want to
Build
give
your own
foreign aid to Russia or
internet.
anything?
Real.
We just spent like $80 billion in Ukraine.
But then
and
when
the
you
official
build it, we
position of
won't
the Yay
come
24
onto it with
campaign
you.
Is to stop giving money.
When you build your own thing called Cozy, we'll just make fun of it.
We'll call it ghetto.
Yeah, and we'll prefer to just stay on the Zio internet with Prager.
Real.
We'll make fun of you.
Money to Israel, that $4 billion, and instead
So
put it
brave.
into reparations for black people.
Oh yeah, and open the borders and make a united Northern America.
So you're saying you prefer to give money to Ukraine and Israel than to give it to?
Are you
Where
retarded?
literally yes,
Yeah,
like
you're
literally
retarded.
yes.
Like
Where does that even
literally.
come from?
That's what he just said.
Also,
Literally, he didn't say anything about that.
chime, Luke.
Focus on your
realize
studies
that
and
in the
like
global
learn some listening skills.
It's become fashionable and trendy,
Talk over the
to
woman.
criticize Israel.
It's a way of
What was the
signaling like a
question?
heightened
What was the
perception
question?
of the dynamics
No,
in the world.
It's about legitimately shifting the conversation. Come on.
But you're not doing anything to do that.
How are you going to legitimately?
yeah,
You
like-
guys are in position to do something
Then
to do
get
that, and
yourself
you're
in a
not
damn
doing
position,
anything.
Luke. You're not doing anything for the conservative movement.
It's a lot harder for me
So
to do
true,
than you
Lance.
are
Get
to.
yourself
And
in
I
that
already
damn
said, I
position. You're
respect
being
you guys
lazy.
for getting there.
You're being
but do something now.
Lukey, if that's what I want to call you. Your name.
Bruh.
Okay, but listen,
Hey,
dude,
pause it real quick.
you're literally in college. Okay,
Somehow.
you have a voice at your own college.
Look, these guys, this whole thing they're doing right now, do it yourself, you're not doing anything. Like, if you ask them questions, the fact that they run to this is all just a smokescreen. This is them just like setting up some it's a filibuster. It's like instead of, I mean, we do this. We do it with memes. Like we'll just meme on you as a way of just showing our disrespect of you. And we're like, yeah, that's what we're doing. We don't respect you, so we're just disrespecting you. But this guy came in with a question that instead of answering it, they're like, we'll just go disrespect mode. And then then it's like, well, yeah, but you started it off with I'm tired of all the drama. You guys are drama streamers. Tired of it. Well, first of all, you're not as good as us at this. Like if you want to go to this level, like this is where we live. In that we'll just meme on each other and just be dickheads on the internet. You guys are nerds. I mean, first of all, you don't want to pick a fight with us on that level. Second of all, the reason why we come to you with a question like this in a respectful way is because that's the way you present. They present as we're the respectable, clean-cut, serious-minded, sober-minded, hopeful of of just a straightforward win the election political solution. They keep their hands clean of all of this dirty business on the far dissident right. Like we're reactionaries, but we're not going to name them, and we're not going to do any entertaining stuff really. We're going to keep it kind of milk toasty. It's like, all right, so then we'll meet you on that level and be like, well, what's the actual answer then? I'll take you seriously. I'll take your word at that. What's the answer? How long are you just going to go infiltration mode? Is it going to be like that forever? Oh, well, you're not even doing anything though. Like at least we're doing this. You're doing nothing. Do something yourself before trying to criticize us. All right, so you're just not going to answer the question. You're just going to run and hide behind this weird little game, which is really kind of just like a sign that you're like when you have to go to that mode, it just shows that you've lost. Like if you had a good answer, you would give that instead. But to go to a rallying for shame or embarrassment or just trying to do a rhetorical own of like, oh, you're lazy, and calling him Lukey. All right, your name's Luke. I'm calling you Lukey now. Hey, Lukey.
That's
lazy
so cute.
Lukey. Do this cute little thing. Like, dude, what's that all about? Like, why are you doing that?
Fucking faggot.
Just answer that question though. Like it was a good question. Like we're asking, like, all right, well, if you're not going to do what we're doing and you got a big thing, well, what's the better thing to do? You're just going to do that instead? I mean, maybe it sounds like I'm being sarcastic about your angle, and maybe, yeah, I am. But it's like, help me understand. What's your plan? If it's not what we're doing, if it's a big problem with what we're doing, I heard why you don't like it because you think it's going to cost you your political career, your serious political career. It's going to cause people to get kicked out of their school or something. It's like, yeah, that's a real risk. But, okay, so if you want to avoid that risk, right, well, how do you intend to win and avoid the risk? And they're like, well, why do we have to take risks? Why don't you do it? If you have all the answers, you do it. Okay, so you're literally just a coward. Because we're telling you that somebody's got to do this, and if you're not doing this, you're not a real guy. And you're like, well, I'm not gonna, so you must do it. And in fact, the fact that you're not doing it makes it to where like you have no right to ask me to do it. Like, no, all right, well, if you're gonna stand up, and raise a flag and ask people to rally behind you, while at the same time taking shots at us over here who are doing this thing, and then we say, well, why aren't you doing it too? And then you say, well, I have a big platform. I could do whatever I want on it. Like, all right, well, if you're not doing the right thing, shouldn't we be able to ask why? If you're saying that you're on our side and acting like indignant or resentful or, oh, it's also tiresome that they're attacking me for no reason, these dumb drum. It's like, well, but you are being a coward, and this matters. And so you're telling us you have this big brain angle of, in the long term, it's going to play out, and we don't get it. You're smarter than us. We're all just children. Then, no, dude, I think it's really that you're just being a pussy, and you're going to hide behind that and try to shame this other young guy who's in college, and say that he's not. What's he supposed to do? Just like start another show called, like do another heck off comedy show and like build up another audience and gain the trust of everybody, and then hopefully when it comes for him to put something on the line, he won't be as much of a coward as you. That's what you're saying is the solution, is that you're not going to do it, but somebody else should do it. Literally just pushing it off onto the to the youth, pushing it off to the younger ones. You're doing the same thing that the boomers are doing at that point. Why don't you do it? You don't know what it's like. We've built
We're
this
just
whole
not quite
thing.
ready to
If
talk
you
about
think
that
you've
yet.
got all the answers, why don't you do it? Stand up, get out there, get in the street. How come you're being so lazy? It's like, dude, because all of our heroes are pussies, man. And so when we rally behind Nick, it's because we're looking for somebody who's not a pussy. We're looking for we like that Doyle's smart. He comes across as smart. He signals smart. And we go, okay, good. Are you smart and also brave? Because that's going to be needed. Are you smart and also, like, a man of conviction? Because that's going to be needed.
He can hide behind his muscles. He's always going to be a little nerd. That's just ingrained. That's just who he is. Like, once a nerd, always a nerd.
Dude, real talk, those muscles are not big enough to hide behind.
No.
Dude,
no,
those are...
He should call up Kai if he wants to learn how to...
Yeah, those are first-year muscles right there.
Real.
And so, like, oh, I'm gonna hit this little response, and then I'm gonna hit a set.
I'm gonna go, hit the set after.
Yo, relax, dude. Relax. Like, there's dudes out there with bigger muscles than you that are also being braver than you, but you have a bigger platform than them. Why? Because you work for PragerU. That's why. And then we ask you, well, why are you doing that? And the answer is so that I can have a bigger platform. And what do you want that for? So that you can make more money. Exactly. No, it's because I'm going to have more of a long-term effect of infiltrating and affecting the culture if I just work for the enemy.
Why don't you accept my framework? Are you a child? You don't understand his politics as well as I do?
Yeah, he's a pussy, dude. He's just a coward.
Oh, pussy bitch.
And it's essentially a selling out, and it's because he's not going to tell us, look, guys, look, this here's what I'm doing. Here's how it's going to work. Here's the like, look, if you're going to do everything you can and then also say, trust me, like, all right, cool. But we're asking you, hey, there's this other thing you can do that you're not doing. And we're asking you why. And it's like, well, because we're doing stuff behind the scenes. What are you doing? Trust me. It's like, but I don't trust you. I don't trust you because you seem to be risk averse when it comes to your personal endeavor. And then you want me to trust you while you are, for some reason, being... you're showing a lack of conviction on the issue.
Yeah, like I live in Canada and I name the Jew. I can literally go to jail, and this guy's not willing to lose potential access to PragerU. Like that's the red line for John, losing access to PragerU.
Yeah, he gets to talk to a bunch of coomers about pornography.
Wow.
Cool.
Marie sent $10. Good morning
Marie.
/ afternoon, y'all. Thanks for covering the Luke X Doyle joust. We need people like you to inform viewers on how that went down. Love, speech less than 3.
Thanks for the 10. Let's go.
Hi, Marie. Thank you. Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you, Bigley. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so it's unfortunate. It's not what we want to see.
Not unexpected though, honestly. Hate to say it, not unexpected.
Yeah, he's waited this long and he's not gone all in. And then so now here's the other part of it too, is that right now, what's going on now? Nick has put his neck out. He's put his head up, he's stuck his neck out on the line, right? He had the Trump Mar-a-Lago meeting. He had the Ye, Tim Pool, and then Alex Jones thing. Ye put him in this spot where Ye is now gone DEFCON 3, and then he said he loves Hitler. And so that puts Nick in a vulnerable spot. More vulnerable than Nick has been in a long time, maybe ever. And the A-logs are after him. And Jaden is betrayed and said all this stuff. And clearly Doyle's been reading the A-logs and taking their opinions into account. And I wonder how this angle of saying that Nick is infiltrated by feds or he's under investigation and like sowing doubt and FUD. It's like, I wonder if I can subtly FUD post on Nick. And now that Nick is aligned with Ye, and Ye hasn't yet, he's proven courageous but not yet proven stability. And he's like, I wonder if I can capitalize on this perceived or potential instability in Nick's affiliations. And now when Nick is maybe Nick has put his head up a little too high, put his neck out, maybe I can take a shot at the jugular. Maybe I can do it passively. I can do it like a pussy. I can just show up and be popping in on these A-log streams and making comments. And I could pop in a Twitter space and have just a conversation among some people, and I won't take Nick on directly, but maybe I can try to, publicly humiliate one of his young guys. Maybe I could do that. So you think Doyle's not thinking that way? This reveals the intentions of this guy who starts off the space saying, I've been supportive of Nick for years. I've helped him in a lot of ways, and I've said nothing bad about him, even though he takes these shots at me. Okay, so you're resentful. You're a resentful little nerd who's been getting bullied by the big dog, right? And you've been waiting and waiting and waiting. And now, I think Doyle senses an opportunity. There's a perceived weakness, or there's a perceived angle, a perception that he's open for attack. Nick's not streaming right now. It just comes at a very particular time. Nick's been gone for a minute. Nick left the show behind. Nick went and worked for Ye. Now we haven't seen Ye for a minute. All of a sudden, now is the time we start
Here's
getting this from
Doyle.
Doyle. Now this starts coming out. Interesting.
He's a coward.
Start making videos right now. Stop being lazy and stop saying, you guys need to do something about this. You need to start doing something about this if you believe in it. Luke, please, for the love of God.
So you guys aren't going to do it. So people who have built platforms.
What about you? If you want to talk about it, you build your own damn platform.
Lukey, I have a question that seems. I have a question that seems unrelated. If you have a choice between Carrie Lake and Katie Hobbs, who do you choose?
Yeah, it is unrelated. What is that question even about?
I would choose Carrie Lake, obviously.
Does she talk about Israel and name the Jew and any of that stuff?
No, but you gave me a 50-50 choice.
Okay,
What?
and with
Good
Aldo,
answer.
for example, if you have a platform that has 25, whatever David was saying, 25 unique
million quarterly viewers, unique
viewers, and that's something that exists whether you like it or not. Who would you rather occupy that position? Would you rather have it be Aldo, or would you rather it be, I don't know, some like 19-year-old TPUSA kid that's like got his politics from Ben Shapiro?
I already know
what do you want?
There was an option there that it went to someone way worse than Aldo, and thank God that it didn't.
Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah, I'm just tired of
hold on,
I'm not
Lukey,
saying
is it better? Hold on. Is it better that Aldo's in that position? Or, I don't know, I guess there was apparently this alternative that was really terrible. Or would you rather have that really terrible alternative? Like, you're not going to get your perfect, optimal, super-based choice who's going to say everything that you want, and he's going to be able to occupy the space. If you want to shift the conversation, it's not always going to happen like 100% the way you want it to. You're not going to reach your, paradise overnight. Plus, everybody has their role. Aldo has his role over at Prager. Even Ye, I agree. Ye and Nick have their role too to like really.
Maybe if we were Muslim or Jewish, I'd get this whole taqiyya angle of like, listen, for tactic, for tact, we need to lie. I'm Christian. I wear my heart on my sleeve, and that might be a detriment. There might be, a sliver of truth to the whole like, if you're dead honest, if you're genuine, you might face more persecution. That's what we're called to do as Christians.
Yank the Overton window as like drastically as possible. Like they have their role too, because people can point and say, hey, we're not those crazy guys over there. We have reasonable policies. Like everybody has their role, but you just want to shit on everybody else that occupies a different role.
This is like the same argument. Like people don't understand the concept of reaching across the aisle and, working with people that you may not agree with every position to find common ground on things that matter. It's like this is like the gays against groomers.
No,
stuff.
we said that. We're the ones who are saying we should take aid from Israel and give it to Black Americans.
No, but like this is the same argument with like the gays against groomers. Like I'm publicly
how about neither?
I've publicly talked about my stance on gay marriage and homosexuality, but I'm gonna reach across the aisle and work with members of the gay community that are against groomers and predators. But then people will be like, "Oh, you're working with gays."
You
like,
don't have to do.
You've said this.
You
do
not
this on
have
my
to
platform. You're like, "Oh, you endorse gays against groomers." It's like, am I endorsing people?
Thanks for the follow, Thud Like. For everyone who's watching and not already following, smash the follow button. Make the number go up.
People that are against predators, yeah, sue me.
Gays against groomers is groomers against groomers. That doesn't make any sense, dude.
How does that make any sense, Lukey? The fact that
okay, this is my point though. Like, why are we even listening to you? You don't understand politics, which is fine. But again, if you don't like it, then change it yourself.
Keep playing the political system.
But you have to understand It's always people that aren't in the industry and don't actually realize how it works that think they have the best ideas. But if you have the best ideas, then you should actually get into the industry and do something about it.
Well, you know what else? You guys don't talk to anyone who's actually done anything who are part of the AS here. You guys don't publicly do it. You don't put them on your platforms or anything. So, that's the other thing.
Yeah, because they're terrible people.
Yeah.
Wow. It's
We
nice
outlined
audio.
how in the past
You don't have.
many people have tried
Oh wow,
to work
you
with these
didn't
people,
debate
but it doesn't work
severely.
because the
Yeah, dude, what
retarded
about
and
having
drama
a conversation
whores.
with Nick about this? Like
I
publicly?
have.
Well, and Luke, I don't think you
Publicly?
understand how many people actually know Nick and are on talking basis with him in here.
Luke, I've literally hosted live streams with Nick on my public Instagram account. Okay, like people like us. Oh, of course we don't.
Which,
all
by
agree
the
with
way,
everything
we're
that Nick
jackals
says.
too, but these guys act like they're not. These
Yeah,
guys
well.
want to be like, oh no, we're different. You guys are the drama guys. You guys are no. You wish that you had half the fucking balls that we have. You wish you had half the testosterone that we have. You think that because you've been lifting some plates at the gym makes you a real one? You're still a nerd. That you're all just still nerds. Like we're rejects and outcasts maybe, but we're
real niggas.
Dude, we're fucking angry Joker pilled psychos. You guys are just little mama's boy nerds.
Yeah.
You think you know about John Doyle?
RJ knows about.
You don't know nothing. These guys are fucking up.
Fake.
Okay, because we don't suck his dick like you do. Okay, what you're trying to say is
What have I said that's like
you're
100%
like
agreement
you don't
with
agree
Nick
with everything Nick agrees
What are
with.
you? What are you saying you don't agree with Nick on? What are you saying you don't agree with
There's
Nick
a
on?
lot of things.
Wait,
I don't
Luke,
wanna go into a
I don't
whole
even
news here.
understand your point. Are you acting as if like John and Nick have never met before or something? Like I don't even understand.
No,
this
I'm
point.
just saying they can do you guys can do things or
Hey,
like
Luke,
debate
you remember
people.
when Blaze platformed Nick on multiple occasions?
Yeah.
So what? That wasn't reaching across the aisle. That wasn't giving a platform to Nick.
No, well, first of all, we should all be part of the same thing. But a lot of the AF guys' problem here, also another thing, is that there's a work to subvert the nationalist right now, the dissident right, into a sort of like Zionist Yoram Hazony type of conservatism that just shouldn't be there at all. It's
Bro, what are you even
talking about?
Is he smart?
This was like the best part about when they got mad at like the APU guys is you can tell that they didn't
not
actually
APU.
listen to
It's
any of
not
our
APU.
content. You know what I'm talking about though? Like one of the things they said was like APU be like America's an idea. Yeah, a based idea, which admittedly is pretty fucking funny. But like this idea that like all these people who aren't explicitly AF are just like neocons who are trying to embrace this like vulgar populist working class rhetoric to subvert the authentic dissident right. Bro, what is there to subvert? Like literally, what is so obviously at such high potential that is being subverted and derailed by nefarious actors? Where is it? Show me a political victory that isn't just a photo op.
Any AFPAC conference, the guy who said not to go to AFPAC, the guy who tried.
Do you know why that is? Do you know why that
Why
is?
is that? Why is that?
Because he was under federal investigation by the FBI.
Because
Do you
he's
understand
a
that you're
pussy.
in proximity
No,
to somebody?
because
who's
he's a
under
pussy.
federal
Because he's a pussy. The answer is because he's a pussy. That's why John Doyle. You know why that is? You know why that is? Because he's a pussy. Yeah, that's why actually. Correct.
I hate his voice.
He's under federal investigation by the FBI.
I don't hate him. I hate the way he talks.
Do you understand that you're in proximity to somebody who's under federal investigation, that your cell phone data is collected when it's near their cell phone? Do you understand that you're having to use your real name? You're on a fucking list, dude. You're on a list. That is what happens.
No, not on a list.
There's like a slight whistle, like when he talks. It's like I don't even know how to describe it. It's horrible. It's like air seeping out of his mouth every time.
Yeah, but dude, what if they put your name on a list though, dude?
Too late.
Oh no, a list. Shit, dog. That's not good.
Nigga, your name's on a list if you're in basic bitch libertarian politics. Like if you're involved in that, you're already on a list. Yeah.
You're on a fucking list, dude. You're on a list. That is what happens.
Not a list.
Everyone who went to AFPAC was
fair,
fine.
I guarantee
AFPAC
you're
ran
on the list
perfectly.
too, John.
So that's not even
Okay,
right.
Luke, do you actually think that
You don't know that. You don't
AFPAC
know
is
that.
fine?
Wait, what do you mean everyone? Like,
I went to
what are you
AFPAC
talking about?
fully knowing that there were feds there attending the event from my DHS contact. You have an infiltrated movement and nobody wants to talk about it.
We can talk about that. Who? Name names. We'll get them out.
What about the like 24 something groypers who were thrown in jail because of January 6th with Nick? For some reason, this footage never goes.
By the way, we are at 19% the way to the goal. PowerChat.live/BigTech. Let's make it happen. Last stream for real before Ralphamania.
For real.
Brown, he was on the Capitol
By the way,
steps
I gotta
saying-
leave now. Damn. I gotta freaking hit the road. Keep it playing. I'm just gonna get there last minute. They'll probably delay my flight again.
Break down barriers, disregard the police, and for some reason, these 24 groypers go to jail.
You guys might only have 5 minutes. Come on, PowerChat.live/BigTech. He's gonna be gone. This is the last stream for Ralphamania.
We're gonna leave it going. Leave it going.
Give some of that money to help them out? No. In fact, why did he even get that money back from the
Nick
feds?
sent $3. Doyle mentioned a 10,000 boxing match for content at the beginning of this, but after listening to him, I just want to pull up on him. TBH. Pussy ass kosher bitch.
Pussy ass kosher bitch.
Couldn't have said it better myself, my Nickas. Thank you.
I learned from the Most Canceled Man in America documentary that the federal government can do whatever it wants to fuck you over if they view you to be a threat. So why'd they give him the money back? Why'd they take him off the no-fly list? These are questions that we never just got answers.
These are questions that A-Logs have been asking a lot lately.
I don't talk to him.
Yeah, well, why didn't you ask it when you actually did talk to him? Because you didn't care back then, right? You didn't care back then.
No,
so why
because
do you care now.
Bruh. Damn,
It's
this
not
guy
that.
is studying how to be a John Doyle mind reader in college. That's a pretty
Real.
That's pretty impressive major, buddy.
Funny. He avoided. He dodged it. Good one.
Everybody knows it's true. I mean, there's a reason that he's burning allies every week.
Is that your answer to my question?
Yeah, you're on a list. Your name is on a list. These people's names are on lists. That's the answer to the question. There is literally no significant difference.
I bet John Doyle. I bet your name's not on the list, no, John.
Fed op.
I have literal pigs showing up at my place of work, harassing my employer.
Literal
and this
pigs?
nigga's and this feds, and this nigga's you might be on a list.
There is literally no significant
They
difference
might know your
between
name.
if this were an
You don't want to be on
intentional
a list.
Fed
That'd
op
be bad.
or if it weren't. They're literally aggregating names for them. Whether it's they're turning it in voluntarily or the feds are just looking into these servers. You think that Cozy.tv has good OPSEC? Didn't it come out when people inspected it that it records everybody's IP who visits the site? I mean, there have been so many people who've gotten
Oh no! Now the feds have a list of people that don't like them.
No.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy, dude. Hey, John Doyle. When all of your insider infiltrating pays off in 20 years from now, you think you still won't be on the list, bro? You think you'll still be all of your John Doyle? You think they can't get a list of everybody who subscribes to your channel? Everybody who goes to heckoffcommie.com? You think they can't figure out everybody who goes there? Is that what you think? No, that's not what John Doyle actually thinks. He just thinks that if he says this kind of thing over and over about the one outpost on the internet where people be streaming and talking freely like this and trying to draw together, this is his nice little, the reason why I would never do that is because of, FUD, fear, uncertainty, doubt, list, fear, A-log talking point, be afraid. I'm a pussy. Really is all he's saying the whole time. It's really kind of disgusting. It's kind of a...
It's my sister to own the commies. Based incest moment.
J6. Even fucking Brandon Straka got a probation sentence for saying go. Nick is over here telling people to break down barriers, to disregard the police, take the Capitol, and this guy gets his money back. We're supposed to be this is very normal behavior. Taking a bank account,
then.
dude,
Why do you care
that's
now? Why do you care
that's
now if you have such a
RICO
big
level
problem with it?
stuff. I literally don't even see how that's pertinent to the discussion. What, I'm a hypocrite or something? Why don't you address the points?
You should have asked him back then. But what you actually care about is being contrarian to groypers because they
Wait, Luke,
real.
what would, hold on. What would asking
pause.
solve? Here's the if he's not an op. And
you say pause?
Yeah. No offense to Luke, a little swing and a miss. He was dead on target, but then he followed it up with the reason why is because you just want to be contrarian to the groypers. The question that he asked before that was, why are you doing it now? Why didn't you ask Nick about this then, but you're bringing this problem up now? I think it's what I said before. Now, John is sensing, he thinks, is an opportune time to begin the strike. He's wanted to strike at Nick, but it hasn't been the right time. The reason why it's the right time now, reason why he's changing up his tune on Nick now and repeating the A-log FUD posting now is because were post. Yay. Now Nick got it. He's a bigger target than ever, and John senses maybe now is the time I can take him down. I can come out with a public disavowal, and he comes out like a faggot, comes out like a pussy. He's like, maybe Nick made a big fatal error here, and now I can finally make my move. It's really something closer to that. That's why.
Well, because apparently he has a huge issue.
No,
with
Nick would be like so honest with me, and he would be like, "Oh no, here's how that happened."
Lukey, if the implication is someone's like a Fed or whatever because of like these circumstances, and you ask them a question, are they just going to tell you the truth? Is that how that works?
So
like,
you guys
because he's honest.
You guys think someone who's been banned from 6 banks is a federal agent?
Yes, I do. Yeah, absolutely.
Easily possible.
What are you
Not
doing? What are
mutually
you work for?
exclusive.
Like you went to a Yoram Hazoni conference? Yeah, good work.
Oh my God.
David, why don't you put your copy of The Virtue of Nationalism down and get your fucking head in the game here? I mean, this guy's running laps around here.
You got me. I'm
That's
sorry.
the whole
I raised,
point.
you know,
The whole
a bunch
point
of
is
money
you
at
have
a
Georgia
National
Maloney in
Conservative
office
conference.
right now, who's a Zionist. Why is it it's the one thing that none of these guys will talk about is Zionism. They're all Zionists.
He's just fucking repeating himself at this point. Let's get the next person up here. It's just looping. Like
girl comes
it's
in
just
with the
exhausting.
destiny
And then, like,
thing.
just
He's
from a political
looping.
strategy
No,
point,
he's
like,
just reminding you
don't-
of the question that he's asked. He's bringing it back to the most important point, which was the original point, the thing that you have actively refused to acknowledge this whole time. You squirmed the whole time, pretending that it's not. First you call it childish, and then you do this other thing, and then you try to reframe it on him. How come you're not doing it then? And all of this other stuff. And then when he brings it up again, now you go, this is tiresome. You're just looping. No, dude, we're just trying to get the answer.
Why are you repeating your question? Because you're not answering it.
Yeah.
Like
because you're not answering it.
Let me talk about Zionism, but it's all I'm going to talk about for the next.
and that's like I get that it's an issue, and actually I agree that it's a huge issue, right? I mean, we have it in Texas with the anti-BDS stuff, but the thing is, like, in order to win elections, in order to take positions of power, in order to get our politicians elected, you can't just go around screaming racist Nazi crap. You just can't. You can't. That's just the fact of the matter, right? You have to, like Aldo was talking about, meet in the middle and concede on some things. It's a slow burn, and these guys don't get it. If you're not full 100% all the way on the right, you're doing everything wrong, and it's just exhausting.
I also feel like ending all foreign aid is a more popular position than specifying Israel, you know?
Oh, yeah, you feel like that's more popular? Cool. That's what we need to do then. Just do what's more popular. Whatever you feel like is a more popular thing, do that. That'd be cool.
Yeah, we all know that whatever is popular is what's moral and healthy
Whatever.
for society.
This is an exhausting conversation.
Dalton.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Let's go.
Here we
Yeah,
go.
what's going on? How much of the conversation have you heard? What are your thoughts, if you have any? I don't know.
I literally just tuned in. I just saw that everybody. I just saw that.
Well, you missed a lot of fireworks. You missed a lot of fireworks.
Oh, I bet. I see you got fat retard David Carlson hanging out in here.
LOL. Let's go. Thoughts?
Dude, you look like a lesbian. I don't know. How are you going to call me a fat retard? Do you look in the...
I'm so glad Dalton joined. I haven't seen this yet.
Do you look in a mirror? Like, you're going to come after me like, that retard David Carlson. I've lost 90 pounds in the...
Let's go back.
How are you going to call me a fat retard? Do you look in a mirror? Like, you're going to come after me like, that retard David Carlson. I've lost 90 pounds in the same time that you've gained 120.
You're built like a guy with fucking Kleinfelters, you fucking freak. Right,
Yo,
ahead.
can you mute everybody, Nuance?
David Carlson, go ahead.
Okay. Now what? What do I do now? All right.
I didn't think this through. I wanted to say something. This is
You
like
gotta
sort
make
of
John
the
a
point.
host for that plan
This
to
is
work.
this is like sort of the point. I mean, look, Dalton, he comes.
I didn't think that one through. Yo, story of John's life.
All right.
I didn't think this through. I wanted to say something. This
You
is
gotta
like
make
sort of
John
the
a
point.
host for that plan
This
to
is
work.
this is like sort of the point. I mean, look, Dalton, he comes in here and he wants blood because he's streaming this right now. Like he comes in and immediately starts calling David a fat retard. And it's like it's blood sports, it's e-drama.
Dude, we're back. Yes, exactly. Thank you, John.
Because this is what keeps the keeps the lights on over
It's
there.
called having fun. You nerd.
Drama.
It's just
Are
like,
you fucking high? I made $1,000 tonight listening to music. You fucking dunce.
My Nick has sent $3 Dalton off the top rope. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And don't think Kleinfelter! He's coming in off the top rope! Oh my god! Oh my god! Yeah, it's a moment like that. That was awesome. That ruled. That was cool.
I bet that's a lot of money
shit
for you.
Talk my best friend of 14 years in the DMs of somebody. Oh, and then pretend like you don't know what the fuck anyone's talking about, you fucking clown.
Okay.
Okay, exactly. Thank you.
See, but this is the point, though. I mean, that's like an epic own and stuff, but we were going for like 20 minutes about the failures of your political strategy, and you can come in, you make a scene, make your
My
$1,000
political strategy.
but...
I don't have a. I'm just hanging out.
Right. Okay. All right.
Serious political movement.
Serious political movement.
I do political work behind the scenes. I don't stream politics. I'm not a fucking nerd. I don't talk about this shit for hours on end.
How did Nick make his career?
Being awesome and making fun of you fucking fat. Making fun of retards.
Waiting for somebody to do something and then putting his name on it, being I did this.
Actually, you're
See, I know that you just showed up.
That's just verifiably false.
No, I mean, what do you think Stop the Steal was? What do you think Groyper War was? What do you think all these things were? People were doing these things organically, and then he just tied himself to it.
Groyper War was Groyper War. What the fuck does that mean?
Right, and I know you're new to the scene, but what happened was there were these guys who were showing up at these campus events, and they were asking these questions, and Nick streamed it and was like, that's a good idea. Do more of that. So he co-opted it.
Okay, so how many people there were Groypers, do you think? Would you be able to concede that a majority of them were Groypers?
Later on, I mean, the term wasn't even a thing until like that. That was
what were the most viral
Groyper
clips,
War.
would you say? Were there like more viral clips of Groypers or just these randoms that were very early on?
Well, if you want to define anybody who asked a controversial question as a Groyper, then obviously that's
what
he just said.
I know some of the guys who ask controversial questions.
Like, admittedly, there was like a handful of like in the very beginning, some like TRS guys. I think there's a guy wearing even a Murdoch shirt. But the vast majority of the speakers are people asking the questions were indeed Groypers. They were or at least at the very least AF adjacent.
And they're still friends with me now, so I'm a bit confused.
As to what?
As to why you're asking me. Okay, you're saying he co-opted it. It's called Groyper.
Yeah,
War
they weren't
for a
commissioned.
reason.
Well, that's how it's referred to in the sphere.
Of course it is. Why
because-
wouldn't it be? Because Nick did it better than everybody else.
Thoughts?
Anything? No, just Nick did it better. Okay, that's exactly what I thought.
I mean, I don't
people
think
weren't ordered to show up until
I don't think anybody.
No, everybody talk over each other.
Yeah, so I don't think anybody disputes that, like, Groyper War, like, I think it had, like, a real actual effect. Like, I think it, some people will deny this, but I think it actually had the effect of moving Charlie Kirk to the right. Like, I think that was real, and I think that, I know some people dispute this, but that's what I think. And he changed it very soon thereafter, and I think that's a good thing. But, at the same time, when you can recognize wins, you should be able to, look inward and criticize where the movement's, like, have issues too. And even Nick's done that, like, publicly too. I mean, I know as like fans come in here and he's like, no, he's like a god, he's like this cult leader and we can never criticize him, whatever, but like Nick does this himself too, so it's not like crazy when you talk about the shortfalls. Oh crap, shit, hold on, there we go.
No, absolutely, I agree. I've criticized parts of the things that I disagree with, especially notably, and I think I've even been in a space doing this about people who we've kind of interacted with, engaged with, and shared space with. I think that's totally, that's 100% accurate. I do have to get going, though. I'm doing something right now. I'm behind, but thank you for bringing me on. This was fun.
For sure. Take care.
What people do you think Dalton was referring to?
What do you mean?
He said he had problems with certain people in the movements.
Yeah, that was a good question. You could have fucking asked him when he was here, Kurt.
Well, he was leaving, so. But I think everybody. I think it's kind of what somebody else was mentioning earlier. Like, everybody knows specific people involved in these movements that are like closet gay or pedophiles, but nobody actually wants to name them.
Well, that's like the interesting thing, which I would have loved to talk about, is after that whole.
Where did that come from? What?
Everybody knows specific people involved in these movements that are like closet gay or pedophiles.
You guys
to name them,
Well, that's like the interesting thing, which I would have loved to talk about.
Is that Luke or is that John? Like, who's talking? Is that Luke talking? Is that our guy?
Kind of what somebody else was mentioning earlier. Like, everybody knows specific people involved in these movements that are like closet gay or pedophiles, but nobody actually wants to name them.
Well, that's like the interesting thing, which I would have.
My Nick has sent $3. Why is Nuance Bro such a pathetic centrist cuck, and why is he always in spaces 24/7 being a milquetoast cuck?
Yeah, I don't know. I remember when he was like liking like AF content or like trying to like hang around our guys and pretend he was like one of us or at least adjacent. Now, at least he's dropped the shtick. At least he's being who he really is.
Loved it.
Which is like you said, a milquetoast, boring commentator.
Talk about is after that all happened, he had like so many like prominent people who were maybe closeted, dissidents or working behind the scenes, like ready to support this. And his like next two moves were to get hooked up with Milo Yiannopoulos and then like hang out with Catboy Cammy, which made a lot of people really turned off. And, he sort of dismisses that as like, oh, that's what Vosh says, therefore it's not a valid criticism. It's like, dude, if you're going to hang out with somebody all day, fly them out to Chicago, spend days with them. This is a person who does like incredibly degenerate sexual things on stream. Like that's their whole personality. Your like traditional Catholic audience is going to kind of want an answer for that behavior. But instead he like doubled down on it, was like, no, dude, this is like based. Catboy Cammy has potential. This is just something that like leftists are saying to discredit me and slander me. And it's just like, no, that was like perfectly valid. And there's somebody in this space actually who, maybe if you'd like to tell this story, you can. He told me, look, there was a time when this guy had all the key players in Washington, D.C. politics on his side, and he somehow managed to burn every single bridge by himself.
Well, I
because
just want to point out
character.
My puppet master, Hadar Hazoni, has arrived. Hey, Hadar, how you doing?
How's
it going?
Hey, you haven't been in Spaces for a while, but like I saw your dad posted the thing about like his son getting married. Was that you?
Oh no, that's not me. Thank God, no.
Oh, okay. I was like, I was like shocked for a second. But okay.
No, it's my younger brother.
Well, that's what I told Nuance, bro. I was like, they're like a Jewish family. There's probably like 6 kids at least.
9 actually.
Okay, yeah. See, I lowballed it. I was trying to.
You're being safe. Yeah, actually, the girl you married, she's from Ukraine, so it's the Israel-Ukraine agenda, if you know what I mean.
Oh no! How could you?
Anyway, I only wanted to hop on. I was giving it a listen, and I heard some shit being thrown at Zionism. So I want to give the right-wing take on why everyone should be Zionists.
Wow.
I'm sure lots of people are going to disagree with me.
Surely that wasn't us. Nothing but us Zionists in here, my friend.
Yes, we're all comrades here. Look, basically, as an Israeli, I can't speak for Americans, but as an Israeli, obviously a Zionist, to me that simply means that Israelis should not trust anybody else in the world to take care of their interests, and they should look out for their interests first. And if they can, help other people.
I'm a white Zionist. Or a Christian Zionist. Like imagine saying that about like any other group of people, and that would be called supremacy immediately.
Means that Israelis should not trust anybody else in the world to take care of their interests, and they should look out for their interests first. And if they can, help other people along the way, then that's great. And if they can't, then they shouldn't. And when I say I'm a Zionist, I mean, Americans, they shouldn't trust anybody else to take care of their interests, and they should act in their interest. And they definitely shouldn't be shipping off large crates of cash, not to Pakistan and not to India, and they shouldn't be airdropping it into Iran, and also not to Israel if it's not in their interest. And I think people
you're talking about the pallet of cash that belonged to Iran in the first place. That's what you're talking about.
Oh, come now.
Every time the
Wait,
Jew
you're saying
comes
that
in,
wasn't their money?
The Jew comes in.
No, I'm saying it just wasn't an American.
Literal Jew. This man is Jewish. Jewish Zionist comes in to water down the issue. Yeah, I mean, I agree. Hey, if there's problems with Zionism, I'll be the first one to say it. Hey, if it's not in your interest to be a Zionist, then you shouldn't do it. If it's not in your interest, right? If we can't find that it's in your interest to support Israel, then you shouldn't. Shouldn't be that way with anybody, right? That's the problem with Zionism as I see it. If there is a problem, if there's an angle, and I agree that if it's not in your interest, Goy, like if we can't convince you that it's in your interest to send us money, then maybe you shouldn't do it. I would say that that's perfectly logical, right? So that's the real issue here. It's just about, really, the conversation now becomes, what are the factors that are being, considered here? Is it in your interest or not? Can we identify whether or not it's good for you to be supporting us as the only stable democracy in the region? And protecting, really having a stake in the holy land of your savior that we don't believe in, but that's good for you. And having a stable stronghold that with an ally in the region, is that in your interest? Is it? If you think that's not in your interest, then maybe you should, if you're crazy, you don't see any value in that, then yeah, you'd have a good, that becomes the conversation about, like, the whole JQ gets turned into that conversation. Like, bro, get out of here, Doyle, get this guy out of here, Doyle, get him out of here. But Doyle won't. He's gonna be like, yeah, all right, well, but this is the thing. You think Nick is going to let this guy talk like that and muddy up the whole room? No, but Doyle, what's he going to say to this guy? Let's stand by and see Doyle's hot take against the Zionist Jew who popped in. Let's see Doyle shut this guy down.
Standing by.
Yeah. An interest to send it over there, but okay, we can argue about it.
Listen, that aside, it was their money, right?
Yeah, but
okay, you just wanted to steal their money. Just be honest.
No, I don't think America should be helping regimes that are not their allies.
But then, how is it in the U.S.'s interest to send $3.8 billion a year to Israel if you're criticizing a $4 billion?
I think it's getting closer to war.
I'm not sure it is. I don't know. I have to see a good argument. I'm tired of all this. Oh, we gotta help the only Jewish country. Oh, the poor Jews. We gotta hold their hand. I'm so sick and tired of it. Like, look. Either it's in America's interest.
People also aren't infiltrating shit. Like, they think they can do this thing of, like, walking both sides. Like, oh, AF goes too hard on the Jews. But we're not Zionists either. We're going to do these tactical little complaints about Zionism and complain about Jewish power. But it's really just a side issue for us. And that way we're going to... No, nigga, no. Like, they think that they're going to be able to talk about Jews sometimes and, like, still infiltrate the system.
And if it is, I want to see a list of explanation why it is. And if it isn't, then you should stop doing it. Why is America sending money all over the world to help other people when Americans can't get a goddamn job? They can't drive down the road because the roads are falling apart and half the country's addicted to drugs. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, if somebody was sending Israeli money, okay, to Nicaragua
there's
to arm people
take.
over there,
that's the big reply.
I would want.
The big reply is, yeah. Well, yeah. These guys who work for Prager, this is the problem, bro. The Jew pops in your call, and what do you have to say to him? Nothing.
Not a thing.
Nothing at all. There's no reply to the man. There's no reply to the Jew when he comes into your room because your paycheck relies on your keeping friend, buddy with him. John Doyleberg. That's the
like
problem.
Monsters Inc., but Twitter Spaces, the Jew just joins to steal your adrenochrome.
Oh, you want us to name the Jew and all get fired from our jobs? Well, I mean, like, you don't got to go make a YouTube video about it, but you got to also set yourself free enough to where you can talk to this guy freely. You got to at least get there. Got to get there. Because if you're not there, I mean, and there's some moves that got to be made to get there. And this is the problem. This type of thing times 1,000. Like, you think you're going to infiltrate and do some real political work behind the scenes and help with the culture war while you're completely cucked to any random Yoram Hazoni's son or whoever this guy is pops in the call and he's just going to, like, take over the conversation and you can't talk back to him. This is your buck broken. That's the problem. Ye said slavery's a choice. Well, you're making this choice, bro. You're choosing to be this man's slave. Oh, well, it's a long game and you're a child if you don't understand what we're doing. No, I think you're just a coward who would rather keep your connections and your options open and the cash flowing and your reputation intact with all of the polite people. And you'll stand by and wait till you think, by the way, we'll see how it plays out, but so far it doesn't go well for people when they do this type of thing, where they try to take an opportunistic shot at Nick. And we'll see. We'll see. Maybe it's over for Nick, right? Maybe he's had his day in the sun. Maybe the yay thing was a big mistake, and now it's over for Nick. Now it's open season because the king has made a fatal error in his calculations, and now it's open to attack Nick, and you can get away with it now. Doyle's testing the waters. Maybe you can make an attack on AF. You can make an attack on Groypers. You can try to call us out because now we're what? We're defenseless? We're weak? We've been compromised? What is it? Are we done? Maybe he's right, right? Time will tell. We'll see if Doyle made the right move. Or God has been on our side this whole time, and Nick the Knife is a genius. And we are inevitable. And just like the others, you too will live to regret this type of imprudent move. Could be that too. So, sick of the drama or not, stay tuned. See how it plays out.
I don't know. Like, why are we doing that? What's the reason for that? I don't think that being a Zionist means that Americans have to go against their interests to help Israel. I think that the two things are totally conflated.
I think we should claw back some of those funds. I think we should probably just take back everything. I think that's good legislation. Just claw it back, like Amex does to you if you like abuse their shit. They'll just claw back the points. We got to do that with
you know what they said about getting money out of Jews, though.
It's going to be very difficult.
Dude, the Jew says, you think you should take the money back? The Jew says, you think you should take the money back that you gave to us imprudently? But you know what they say about getting money out of Jews, though. So, I mean, like, nice try with your fantasy idea. But
these, like, cutesy jokes. Weird, disheveled, dysgenic Jew just mogging Doyle.
Yeah, it's all those first-class flights
it's
internationally.
Never happened to me. I try to be very careful about the points programs and all the terms, but I know it's happened to people.
Jonathan, welcome back to Twitter.
Hey, I
Thanks,
do have a question for John though. I'm a somewhat follower of yours. I think you make great content. I think you make great points. And I've been listening to like the last 30 minutes of this. And my question to John is basically like, from what I heard, everything you're saying about the Groypers and America First and Cozy TV, I hear a lot of your criticisms, but I also am not hearing you kind of acknowledge the fact that America First and, by extension, the Groypers have pushed the Republican Party farther to the right. I don't think you're really giving
I conceded that. No, I absolutely conceded
that. Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So you
that
are
was like
not,
the first
so
thing
wait,
he said before your 30 minutes of listening.
Okay. I've been listening for a while. Big fan of yours, but also I just think you need to acknowledge the fact that before America First, the Republican Party was not talking about limiting legal migration. They were not talking about not stapling fucking, green cards to high school diplomas.
My Nick has sent $3. John Goyle is so sick of the drama that he has to now seethe in spaces with A-log seethers like Kipta and Fat Retard Carlson.
Real? Thanks, my Nick. Astute observation.
I don't think America First invented paleoconservatism.
The reason Tucker Carlson said that on his show is because the reason Tucker Carlson said that on his show is because his producers are all like frogs, not like the Zoomer frogs, like the millennial frogs who actually like hate the Zoomer frogs. So like, yeah, maybe if that specific point produced a clip that went viral, that's one thing. But like Kipta said, I mean, these ideas are like not exactly new.
Okay,
yeah, I mean,
I'll acknowledge that, but I also think a lot of your points are kind of predicated on the idea that no one
Tucker's
has seen
staff is all a bunch of
before the Groypers, and
slash poll.
Here's my point. I'm just saying that
hate
a lot of people who follow America First are not just kind of how you view people who follow America First as people that are like 16-year-olds living in a basement. I'm 29 and I've been following, Mitt Romney, John McCain. And one thing that woke me up personally was the fact that I realized that they called everyone that I've ever seen run as a Republican president, for a Republican president, a Nazi and racist. And that kind of made me realize that, oh shit, they're actually attacking white people. What I'm saying is that I think you're just presumptively saying that everyone who follows Nick is like uninformed.
Absolutely not. No, you misunderstand what I was saying.
Hashtag not all.
No. You misunderstand what I was saying. Like, I don't think that people who share those attitudes are, naive or stupid or even incorrect. My point is specifically on the strategy. Like, okay, we've got it figured out at the drawing board. Now, how are you going to actualize those ideas? You, as somebody who's been following right-wing politics for a while, could probably agree that you're not going to actualize those ideas by propping up a guy who is openly saying, I love Hitler, I love Nazis. My campaign merchandise is going to have references to swastikas on them. Like, our base are off put by those ideas. And there's nothing we can do about it. We don't have the infrastructure necessary to reverse that psyoping if, say, that's what you wanted to do. So it seems like a really stupid idea unless you're trying to get lists of people who are no longer going to be able to work in right-wing politics in the future for some sort of intelligence NatSec apparatus, which, of course, is also investigating this movement quite openly. That was my point.
So John, what do you think about the point I was making earlier about everyone having?
They're investigating Trump though. Like that's the thing I don't understand. It's like they banned the former president off Twitter. They're literally trying to throw the guy in jail. Feds are literally raiding Mar-a-Lago, and he's like, the feds are have your eyes on you. It's like they have their eyes on Trump and Trump supporters. They have their eyes on you, Doyle.
Like their role, and even like Nick and Ye kind of like shifting the Overton window by being
I
like
agree.
the furthest. Okay.
I agree. And the problem, and this is actually what gets back to the first iteration of this conversation, was the gentleman who entered the space and was like, John, don't you agree that we all should get along? And it's like, bro, everybody has been under attack from these people for years. And only recently have we become, I guess, comfortable acknowledging that. So I want peace. I don't want drama. I've got criticisms. Explain why they're wrong. You can call me a faggot, call me a shill or whatever, but explain why they're wrong.
This is what, like when Dalton was in here earlier and I was talking about like Nick even admitting some of this stuff, like, he actually recognizes this as a character
the guy
flaw,
in jail.
like, that he has sometimes where he like
Feds
burns bridges
are
with
literally
people,
raiding Mar-a-Lago.
Sometimes when he doesn't have to. So this is something that he's even recognized before from what I remember, even in Twitter Spaces.
And you, Doyle.
I've even like talked to him on the Twitter Spaces about these types of things. So, I think people can fairly recognize that and make that criticism and level that, and not have like all of his supporters be like, you're terrible. This is like, everyone wants to get along. People like you got these people are going to be more aggressive against you when they agree with you like 95% of the way versus like the actual enemy.
This is real.
Also,
and you can't really blame like, the Fuentes crowd / the Groypers for their lack of willingness to, I don't know, like disparage themselves or the movement or call out any flaws. That's cropped up out of a necessity, like how often do you see the left eat each other? Like decently often, but you don't see the Zoomers eat the Zoomers. You don't see the millennials eat the millennials. Like, relatively the left likes to stick together. So, I mean, this new brand of like just stick together regardless.
When does the left eat each other?
I don't. Present issues. That's absolutely necessary. Unfortunately so.
But it's not really happening. I mean, Nick went after BAP for like no reason and just spent hours and hours calling him a Zionist, which is the biggest joke in the world. And there was absolutely no content to it. There was no
gay Jewish pederast. That's who they're defending now. That's the hill they want to die on? Okay.
Real criticism. It was just, here's a person who's getting big and has a big following, so I'm going to attack him because I want to be the only person with a following, and I don't like it there's frauds like that.
I'm not sure who you are, but what I think that if any reasonable person in the America First movement were to give a substantive critique of BAP, it would be that he's a pagan and is not promoting Catholicism, or at the very least Christianity. It was not a blind attack of like,
I hate to stop this. If you guys want to start a different space and like continue it, you can. I think we talked a lot of this stuff out. I see another space right now being hosted by Joel Valdez with Matt Gaetz and Lauren Boebert, and they're actually letting up randos. So John, I don't know if you want to hop in there. I'm going to try to hop in there and get up there. But I'm going to try to get into that space. So I'll see you guys later. Fun times. Adios.